Crash Course Instrumentation, Episode 51. Selective Coordination and Interrupting Capacity, Getting Protection Right. Intro. You can have the best fuses and breakers in the world, but if they're not coordinated or can't handle the fault current, your system could fail when it matters most. In this episode, we'll dive deeper into selective coordination, interrupting capacity, and why. NFPA 70E safety standards. Make these topics critical for protecting both equipment and people. Act 1. What is selective coordination? Selective coordination means arranging protective devices so only the device closest to the fault opens, leaving the rest of the system energized. Example: a branch breaker protecting a motor trips during an overload. The feeder breaker above it stays closed, keeping the rest of the panel powered. The watch, NEC, requires documented selective coordination in critical systems like hospitals, data centers, and emergency circuits, especially where shutting down unrelated loads could risk lives or critical operations. Act 2. Time current curves in action. Devices have trip curves showing how long they take to trip at different overcurrent levels. Fast blow fuses act in milliseconds during high fault currents. Thermal magnetic breakers may take seconds to trip under moderate overload. Electronic trip breakers can be programmed for precise coordination. Engineers overlay these curves so downstream devices trip before upstream ones. Example: in a motor control center, motor breaker trips in milliseconds for a short circuit, and leader breaker trips only for larger faults or if the motor breaker fails. Main breaker opens only for severe system-wide faults. Poor coordination can lead to cascading trips, shutting down entire systems unnecessarily. Act 3. Interrupting capacity, AIC ratings, and safety. Every breaker and fuse has a maximum fault current it can safely open, called its interrupting capacity, or AIC rating. If available fault current exceeds this rating, the device can explode or create an arc flash, a hazard addressed by NFPA 70E. Example: a breaker rated for 10 kA, installed in a panel with 35 kA available fault current, is dangerous. In a fault, the breaker may not open safely. The correct solution might be a breaker rated for 35 kA or using a 1 current limiting fuse ahead of it. Older breakers often have slower trip times and may not meet modern interrupting requirements, increasing arc flash risk. Some systems use maintenance mode on electronic trip breakers, a temporary setting that speeds up trip times during maintenance, reducing arc flash hazard while work is performed. Act 4. Real-world applications. Hospitals and emergency systems require full selective coordination to ensure life safety systems remain energized during faults. And industrial facilities, with high fault currents at the service entrance, use high AIC breakers and fuses, coordinating them with downstream devices to isolate faults without shutting down the entire plant. NFPA 70E requires arc flash assessments, PPE, and safe work procedures, all tied closely to device interrupt ratings and trip speeds. Wrap-up. Selective coordination ensures faults are cleared in the right place at the right time. Interrupting capacity ensures the device can handle that fault safely. Together, they are essential for both system reliability and worker safety. In our next episode, we'll wrap the model with AFCIs, GFCIs, current limiting fuses, and a real-world case study applying everything we've covered.